critical yes or no decision that I make when I'm going through the resume is, I think number one, the kind of projects that the person has done and what has been the impact of his work, his or her work. And I think I do call it out that the impact can be seen through, how their work is being kind of, taken ahead or being utilized by other people. So for example, if somebody has, say, developed an app, during these COVID times, how has that app helped people, at the end of the day? How many users has it helped? So what has been the impact of their project, right? The other thing that I also look out for, and this is my personal preference, is I always make sure that I see like variation in the projects that people have taken up, because that really gives me the impression that, the person wants to go above and beyond and, take up new and challenging projects. So that is also a really good thing about, an employee or a future hire. And I think lastly for me, and again, this is my preference, is I definitely look at the achievements of the person, because that also speaks highly about what they have done in their life and what they consider as their achievement. So those are my favorites, and those are the, the critical yes or no decision makers for me, which I quickly go through and I'm able to scan the resume.
So a lot of people wants to get into the world of marketing and branding. Everyone wants to work at big tech companies without really understanding that world. That's why I thought we will do this interview. So hello everyone, my name is Yash Sisodia and welcome to the another super special corporate based interview. And with me today on this podcast episode is Ruchika ma'am. Ruchika ma'am has been a dream guest for me ever since I started this podcast series on my YouTube channel. Did you heard about these lines? Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. Ruchika ma'am is a perfect example of that sentence. She's someone who's got genuine niceness inside her. She's got genuine humility inside her. And if I talk about her professional life, she's an experienced recruiter. She has also worked with Deloitte in the past year. Now she is currently working with Microsoft in India as a recruiter. You might already have seen her videos about resume building, how to create LinkedIn brand on her YouTube channel. This video is about how she cracked Microsoft, her interview experience, interview preparation tips, qualities that every recruiter want to see in every single candidate, and many more. There is also a part 2 of this video where she talk about life at Microsoft, how she managed work-life balance, how to become a recruiter. Please do watch that one also. Link is in the description box. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy one of the most memorable moment of my life. Enjoy yourself.
Hi Yash, thank you so much for having me on your channel, and I'm very excited that we get to collaborate finally. I know we've been in touch for quite some time and I have been following your content as well. So kudos on creating some amazing content for the student community, and I think you should do more of that, because at the end of the day I feel that the student community need all the inspiration, and I'm sure that people like you and social media influencers like you can do that. So all the best as you create more and more content, and I definitely look forward to seeing more videos.
Ruchika ma'am, speaking with you is an honor and hosting you is an even bigger honor. Thank you for being on the show, ma'am. Apart from this, thank you so much, ma'am, for those kind words that you have said for me. I haven't achieved anything in my life, but the best part of this, you supports me a lot, and every single person who are watching this video supports me. That motivates me to post more and more content. Once again, thank you so much. It really means a lot, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So can we rewind to your past a little bit, like when you were a young girl? I really want to know about your journey. Not even me. We all are very keen to know about your journey from a young girl to now a recruiter at Microsoft.
So for me, I think it was I never had a path charted out for myself, and I feel that nobody does. When you're young, you don't know what you're going to become, and I was in the same boat. I think one thing that I was very clear about was that I didn't want to be an engineer, I didn't want to be a doctor, and because I think I did not have the flair to kind of be a good engineer or a good doctor, and so that was pretty clear from the very beginning. What I thought was I wanted the easy way way out. And for me, I think as I kind of grew up and as I was in my 11th and 12th, I took the easy way out and I took commerce as a subject because it was easy and I didn't have to do anything to do with math or physics or chemistry, because those were not my strengths at all. And then again, when I kind of wanted to decide what I want to pursue as in my graduation, it was again the easy way out for me as well, which was commerce. And after that, I was left wondering, okay, what now? What do I do next? And for me, I think my only strength at that point in time was that I was I had like fair communication skills, and I thought, okay, let me just probably do my MBA in HR. And I did that, and I landed my first job in my first organization, which was Deloitte, as an HR. And from there, it has been, I think, a journey. I think it's been an adventure. I shouldn't call it a journey, but it has been an adventure, because I have been through a lot of companies, not a lot, but like maybe 2 or 3. But I think I've explored a lot of opportunities. I have, kind of gone above and beyond to really push myself to get to where I am right now. And yes, I think it has, if something that I've learned from this adventure is that keep pushing yourself, keep making sure that you keep asking for challenging roles, and just I think keep being positive about yourself. And if you are doing all of these things, I think eventually you will get to your dream company or your dream job. And just be positive, you'll get there.
Ma'am, students struggle with resume. Actually, they don't know how to write a resume. Can you please give some tips and tricks how to write a resume?
There's a thumb rule, and it's a very easy one. Basically, you start off with your education. So the first one would be your name, and your if you have any LinkedIn, GitHub profiles, then you hyperlink those just right next to the name in the heading section. What that helps you to do is it helps you to basically save space, right? Then after that, the first thing that comes on your resume is the education. Generally, freshers are recommended not to write any summaries, because obviously they don't have experience, and it's okay if you want to skip summary, that's fine as well. So you start off with your education details, which includes your college, only your graduation, and if you have done your post graduation, then that. And you have to mention which year you will be passing out in. So if it is 2018 to 2022, then you mention that. And please make sure that you mention your CGPA. A lot of students don't mention their CGPA because maybe their CGPA is not up to the mark, or whatever. But I feel that as freshers, you need to mention your CGPA, because a lot of companies that is the bar on the basis of which at the moment they are assessing candidates. There could be one of the bars apart from the internship and all of that, but make sure that you put your resume, put your CGPA details on on your resume whenever you're applying to an organization. Okay. Then apart from that comes your internship experience, and this is also very important. In students should mention that their experience, whatever it is their internship or full-time or whatever. So it kind of gives the idea that okay, this person has done an internship and does not have like a full-time experience or whatever. So make sure that you mention internship experience, and then put down your internships that you have done. Again, internships also, the way you talk about your internships is very essential, because while of course you don't want to glorify, and this was a very interesting question that had come up recently in one of my talks, that people are like, how do I glorify my internship? Nobody is asking you to glorify anything. I mean, if you have done the hard work, then you should be able to talk about it. And I think the best person to reach out to regarding your internship impact or the work that you've done is your manager. So always speak with your manager and get feedback, and ask them how has my work impacted, say this particular team, and get that clarity from them. If you think that you're not capable of writing impact, or if you think that you're not capable of writing what you have done, obviously you can go back to your manager and get that clarity from them, right? So after your internship experience comes your your projects that you have done throughout your throughout your college. And again, projects as well, students tend to get a little overboard because they do a lot of projects. So again, keep a thumb rule of maybe 3 or 4 most impactful projects of your career so far. You don't have to write a lot. Just stick to those really 3 or 4 really impactful projects and you should be sorted. Again, talk about what you've done in the project and also explain the impact of that project. So it's very important. And then you talk about your skills that you have. So you'll obviously have some technical skills that you want to put there. You can put that there. And then last but not the least comes your achievements. Again, there is a thumb rule to put your achievements, which is 3 by 3. So the last 3 years of your career or of your life versus the first 3 the top 3 positions that you have got. So for example, and when I say top 3, I don't mean first, second and third. You can even stack rank your achievements. Say you got a for example, you say you got some rank in hacker rank, and this was maybe you came in the top 50s. So that could be one achievement. Or it could be some maybe code chef ranking that you got, wherein you're like maybe a 4-star and above coder. So you can put that as an achievement. You can also talk about if there is maybe a non-academic achievement as well. You can put that. Say you represented India in a boxing championship in Commonwealth Games. So just make sure that you keep your achievements varied. It can be academic as well, but if you think that you have something other than academic, you can put that there. And one more thing before I wrap up this one, just make sure that your resume is 1 page and 1 page only, because no recruiter will spend more than 7 seconds reading your resume. So make sure that your resume is crisp and impactful.
Ma'am, the next thing that I want to know, have you re-evaluated a candidate after a phone screening?
To be honest, yes, I think I have re-evaluated a candidate after a phone screening, and I think all recruiters do that. If somebody says no, I've never done that, I think maybe they're lying, because what happens is as you get to speak with more and more people, you are able to gauge what the requirement is, right? So for example, if a hiring manager comes to me and tells me that okay, this is what I need, and these are some of the core competencies that I'm looking for in the right hire, and then I start talking to more and more people. I start that say for example, if there are 10 competencies that that person, the ideal hire, has to meet, I start kind of vetting everybody against those 10 competencies to begin with. And then when I start talking to people, I start realizing that maybe I would probably not find a person who has all the 10 competencies. So maybe I'll have to tweak my requirements a bit, so that I'm not saying that I hire someone who is not equipped to do the job, but maybe someone who is groomable to get to those 10 competencies. So I have definitely gone back and got in touch with candidates that I feel that they have the potential to succeed in a particular role. And I think it also comes from the fact that you need to really trust your instincts. As a recruiter, you need to be very intuitive. You need to have those instincts, those sixth sense, to gauge the candidate at the end of the day. So it is very important that you kind of have a balance between giving a second chance versus who exactly is a clear-cut no hire. So it is always a balance.
Ma'am, by the way, how do you make that critical yes or no decision?
I think the critical yes or no decision that I make when I'm going through the resume is, I think number one, the kind of projects that the person has done and what has been the impact of his work, his or her work. And I think I do call it out that the impact can be seen through how their work is being kind of taken ahead or being utilized by other people. So for example, if somebody has say developed an app during these COVID times, how has that app helped people at the end of the day? How many users has it helped? So what has been the impact of their project, right? The other thing that I also look out for, and this is my personal preference, is I always make sure that I see like variation in the projects that people have taken up, because that really gives me the impression that the person wants to go above and beyond and take up new and challenging projects. So that is also a really good thing about an employee or a future hire. And I think lastly for me, and again this is my preference, is I definitely look at the achievements of the person, because that also speaks highly about what they have done in their life and what they consider as their achievement. So those are my favorites, and those are the the critical yes or no decision makers for me, which I quickly go through and I'm able to scan the resume.
Ma'am, what's important? It's CGPA or internship experience? What should I put exactly?
Thanks for that question, Yash. I think I always get this question that what is important? Is it CGPA or is it internship experience? What exactly should I put? So the short answer to this is there is nothing like, oh, is this or is that. I think everything is important and everything has to go hand in hand. Yes, a lot of companies at the moment do hire on the basis of CGPA, because there is a cutoff, because there are so many people who apply, but that does not mean that that is the only criteria on the basis of which they make selections, right? You could probably maybe balance it out, saying that, say for example, if a company has a cutoff of say 6 and you are somewhere between 5.5 and 6, however the kind of projects that you have done, the kind of internships that you have done are really amazing, right? And you have a hard core coding kind of a background and you're a fantastic coder, right? So there's nothing stopping you from applying, right? And I always say that you should try. मतलब अगर आप try नहीं करोगे, अगर आप मतलब if अगर आप अपने आप को chance नहीं दोगे, then who will give you the chance, right? So it's very important that you should apply, but keep a balance. Don't be under the impression that I can play around with my CGPA. If अगर मैं नहीं पढ़ता college में तो चलेगा, I मतलब अगर मेरा 4 CGPA भी है तो मुझे job मिल जाएगा. But why do you have that mindset, right? So work hard on your CGPA, but yeah, I think it is also important that you have some good internship and other projects also. So it basically is kind of going in hand in hand, right? So if I see a resume, say for example, if the CGPA is not that strong, but that person has done some amazing projects, I will definitely go and interview this person. And at the other side, if somebody's got like a 9.5 CGPA and maybe has not done that great projects, then in that case, even then I will go and interview this person, right? So it's always hand in hand and there's always a balance. But I think at the end of the day, it is up to you on how you want to push yourself and in what direction you want to push yourself.
Ma'am, now I want to know, according to you, what are the qualities that every recruiter want to see in every single candidate?
So I think this is something I tell a lot of people, and I think students basically, and they come with the mindset that a hire or an intern that comes into the organization basically should come ready with all the knowledge in the world. No, that's not the case. I feel that it is very important that the person should have the right mindset, which is because you will always have that mindset that I know everything and I don't need to learn anything, and then you will not survive, unfortunately, in the corporate world. So it's very important that you're humble, you know where you're coming from, and you know where you want to be. So for you to travel from say point A to point B, you need to have a plan and you need to be willing to learn and go that extra mile to kind of get yourself to point B, right? So be humble, and I think that is the one thing that I really like about students. They are very humble, they want to learn, and in fact that is why that motivates me to create content for them and help them as well, and people like Yash are also doing that. So always be humble in whatever you want to do, and you will go a long way.
Ma'am, the last question of this particular video that I want to ask is that what would you suggest a college student prepare for a career at Microsoft?
Okay. So to have a career at Microsoft, well, I think, and this is coming from someone who Microsoft was not the first company for me. I had to make my way to Microsoft, right? Microsoft did not come to my campus, or this was not the first organization that I came to. I had to carve my own path, and I feel that it is very important that the student community or job seekers have a plan. So the first thing is always get to know what's happening in the world. There is a lot happening right now. Don't be in your cocoons thinking that, oh, Microsoft will open an opportunity and then I'll go and apply. No, be a little smart, be active on LinkedIn. There's a lot happening there. Get to know about Microsoft, get to know about the organization, get to know about what we are doing, network with people, find out information. If a lot of people do this, they kind of remain in their own cocoons, and they don't want to really explore what's happening. It'll be very difficult. So you have to be an explorer to get anywhere. It's not just Microsoft. But yes, for Microsoft, I think you need to have the right passion, you need to have growth mindset, and you need to be humble. And I think these three things are very important for anyone who wants to crack Microsoft. Yes, of course, the other skill sets go hand in hand. You need to have skill competencies, you need to have all of that. That's fine. But the characteristics of a person, and for you to get into an organization like Microsoft, is this. Because as a culture as well in Microsoft, we thrive on all of these things. So just make sure that you are open to taking feedbacks, you're practicing growth mindset, you are not afraid from failing. That is the most important thing, because if you get afraid of failing, then you will never try to be a better version of yourself, and that's something that I truly believe in. So thanks everyone who watched the video, and there is a part 2 of this video where I talk more about the life at Microsoft, how do I manage work-life balance, and some amazing questions coming my way. So watch out for that video, link in the link description below.
Now we are ending this video. Don't forget to watch the second part of this video. Link is in the description box. You can check it out. See you. Bye bye. Take care.